Aloha. Today I wanted to give some examples of the how and the who is revealing information and saying, what is what. In relation to the real and fake news whole agenda, my perspective has always come from who's telling you what's real and who's telling you what's fake. This relates to all the wars, the false flags, the hoaxes that have been going on, all the way up until the heliocentric model, the supremacy program, the globe theory, the evolution theory. Everything that you understand is who and what you are, down to the very nature of who and what you are. People bleaching their skin and blonding their hair and not being happy with, down to families even being more loving towards the lighter children in their family than they are to the darker children in their family. Old school Mexican families are known for this. I can speak from my own observations. For people who grew up in old school Mexican families, they know that even in so-called black families, it's the same thing. All this stuff stems from the psychological mind control program as a whole. And it's going up to the very understandings of how we receive information today. It's that remnants of authority that comes from the Queen of England, the King of England, your forefathers, your slave masters, your colonial, the Christopher Columbuses who discovered the New World. It's about how these stories are being told, and then it goes into who's telling these stories. Because the who will tell you how to think and how to believe. And it's not only about what you believe, it's what you don't believe, it's what creates disbelief, and what creates disconnections within your even questioning your reality. One big one is obviously the flat earth realm in relation to the globe model illusion that was designed by this mind control program. It has to go down to the very natures of yourself, just like I just explained, the very natures of people having relationship with their own children, actually hating children because they are darker, hating other people because they look a certain way. All mind control programs sent down from no different than people hating people who speak about flat earth, the flat earth realm, in reference to globe model people. That's the same mentality that goes on here. And I wanted to give two examples of what the who is energetically. And yes, it does narrow down to race and all that other stuff, but that's not really my focus. That's the design to distract you and get people to fight themselves. My focus is why this exists and how this exists. So if you want to address it on whatever level, that's up to you. I'm just sharing from how I observe it and how it's defended. I'm going to go ahead and play this video so you can see, taste, smell, and actually hear this shit that gets regurgitated out of this man's mouth and how it comes out of this man's mouth in reference to, first of all, this is a fixed fight. This is what this is. Like Black Lives Matter, that was a fixed fight. It's designed to tell a particular story, to create a particular atmosphere. So when you have the commercial revolution of InfoWars and the Americana and making America great again from within the system that made America a piece of shit in the first place, that was founded on genocide and massacre and destruction and racism and total separation from all that is natural, you think that's going to fix, that's going to, worshiping the forefathers and the Constitution and all this shit, you think that's going to fix the problem? No. But that's the fixed fight of this commercial revolution. And it happens on so many other levels. This is the foundation to the colonial universe that I explained in the previous last two videos. The colonial universe is just like the Marvel, DC, and Star Wars universe. It's a storyline that you believe is real, and you play the storyline in your own day-to-day life, believing it's real and simultaneously disbelieving anything that challenges the structure of that universe. And the whole idea is, who are the writers of that universe? Why are the writers telling that particular story? Who are the villains? Who are the superheroes? Why are they the superheroes? Why are they the villains? Who's the narrator? Why are they the narrator? What does the sound of David Attenborough's English accent voice do when you listen to so-called true information from the scientism community on all these documentaries on National Geographic, the History Channel, Discovery Channel, and so on and so forth? Why is there an English accent in everything that is? Why does an English accent mean more true, ring more truth than any other accent? This is all an intention that goes down to the who, the how, and the who is telling the stories for you to believe in. That goes all the way up until the so-called real and fake news information or frame of thought that gets pumped out by the mainstream media. They're creating a system, dividing the system to say, because there's nowhere else to run. The mainstream media has nowhere to run. They have been revealed for what they are. The politicians are lumped into that shit. The education is lumped into that shit. The university system is lumped in. The entire colonial universe is lumped in to the fakeness of the mainstream media, and that Titanic ship is sinking quickly. Everybody is starting to realize what's been going on and what is going on today. And the only way that the system can maintain its dominance over your psychology and over your reality, your universe, is to bulk itself up. And it's trying to bulk itself up by saying, we are real and everything else is fake. Everything else is fake. So it's doing two things. It's saying everything that you look at that's outside of what we consider real is fake, and whatever we say that's real is real. So you need to just shut up. It's bullying. It's bullying the mentality, and they have these dogs that are out there, to these mouthpieces that are out there to tell you who and what to believe in. And there's a very definite code there, and it's obvious, and it plays both sides, just like the United States and the British Empire plays both sides of every war. The war on terror, the war on drugs, the war on the actual world wars, Vietnam. Every side is being played, so that what happens is that you get people who, the haves and the have-nots, actually make a profit. When you have actual soldiers who are dying, those are the have-nots. Those people are dying so that the people who are playing both sides in the haves story can actually profit. And it's no different. It's no different than the information war that is happening today to get you caught up in the movie reel. This is what Bernie Sanders was and still is. This is what the aggressive progressives movement is, whatever the fuck that is. They couldn't get people with progressives because it was too close to Democrats and Republicans. So they had to say, aggressive progressives, we're really revolutionary. And then you're just like, oh, well, this is much better now because progressives was just too political and close to the Democrats and Republicans. But now, aggressive progressives, hey, I'm on board. And then everybody is buying time because people are so caught up on linear frames of thought, linear information, which is information that is installed into the system, the belief system. The knowingness is the connecting of all the dots, of all those storylines, of all the information to realize the bigger picture, the actual universal picture, to see the colonial universe for what it is. Instead of being stuck within the universe of the Star Wars and Marvel and DC and colonial universe, fighting the Clone Wars and all this other bullshit. Because the screenwriters are telling you to do that. You're actors in a movie when you're watching and believing in the perspectives of Alex Jones and InfoWars and Jank and Anna on the Young Turks and all that shit. When you believe in that, you're believing in their limitations. They sell you everything, how smart they are and how progressive they are and how aggressively progressive they are and how revolutionary Alex Jones is. We're fighting the system. We're fighting the globalists. We're taking over. This is the independent media. Follow us and sign up and buy all this shit and you will be part of the revolution. The fuck kind of garbage is that? You don't need to be doing all that shit to just tell people what's really going on here. In fact, what's really going on is obvious. When you come from the depths of realizing the separation from nature, the separation from spirit, which the Native Americans, the Aboriginal Americans, the indigenous people across the earth plane have been fighting forever. That revolution has never stopped. So when people gotta get in front of you and tell you that you're gonna get on the side of the revolution and get all this bullshit, they gotta sell that shit to you to make you believe in it. Because it's already starting off on a unbelievable step. Because all the actual information that is the real information that goes deeper, the roots that go deeper than what they're selling you, need to be distracted from and actually take the power away from the individuals who are being either paid out there or knowingly or unknowingly a part of the distraction program to distract you from empowering yourself. Because to fight in the revolution against the system is only going to empower the system. But when you expand your consciousness outside of the system and expand yourself, that's a truly evolving the natural, the organic evolution of consciousness, not of this linear thought process like monkey evolution, but to actually evolve your consciousness beyond the limitations of the system of enslavement and destructive intelligence. That's an actual revolution. That's an actual evolution. But this commercial revolution shit, it's on purpose. It's like a Black Lives Matter, George Soros sort of manipulative war game. Only to distract you, only to steal your time and buy your time and get people to buy tickets to the movie of the colonial universe, just like Star Wars and Star Trek and Marvel and so on and so forth. So now that I've set the platform to how this design is aligned, I'll give you one example of the emotional tethers that, and the style that they say that they sell this shit to you. And mind you, this is InfoWars. People still believe in this shit. They still believe that Alex Jones is for the people and for the revolution. It's like, okay. But this guy is not actually Alex Jones, which I'm going to play right now. But he is on Alex Jones's channel. This is what Alex Jones represents. This is their style. He is a representative for InfoWars. And then I'll give you a representative for the scientism community and the public, the overall accepted, the universally accepted mind control program of the scientism community, and how they relate to facts and so-called truth and real and fake news and so on and so forth, because this is like the emotionally charged version of dumbing you down and distracting you, while there's like an intellectual version that's simultaneously running. So I'll play this right now. I don't know if I'll play the whole thing, but if you get the gist, then I'll leave it.
Hey fellow white guys, it's about to be a new year, and here's a few things we think you could do a little bit better in 2017.
Well, that's nice coming from these guys at MTV who don't know me, and many of which are white.
So I'm going to distort this video. I don't know if you can see the title, but the title of this video is called MTV Racist Against White Males, and this guy is going to show you how that's true.
But apparently this is the MTV's New Year's resolution for white people, or white guys more specifically, in 2017. You know, it's funny, if a white guy did this about black people, it would be the most obscene racist thing ever, and they would be the first ones to point that out. But they're more than happy to do it about white people, and that's fine. Go ahead and do it about me, because you know what? I'm going to use this for my entertainment. So let's go ahead and listen to MTV's 2017 New Year's resolution for white guys.
First off, try to recognize that America was never great for anyone who wasn't a white guy.
Try to recognize that America was never great for anyone who wasn't.
This is the defense mechanism. This is what I was explaining in previous videos. It's childish, adolescent. First of all, MTV is a limitation consciousness. It's designed by the system. This is that fake fight. This is that fixed fight that gets put out there. Just like the mainstream media against the alternative news, like TYT, and the mainstream media against InfoWars, like Alex Jones, and so on and so forth. It's creating this fixed fight so you can think that that's actually what the revolution is going to look like. And then when things start to change, in quotation marks, then you're like, oh wow, I'm glad people are starting to come together, and you'll just believe in whatever comes next. And right under your nose, that'll be the new world order, the new age order, or whatever it is that these individuals have planned in the beginning, from the beginning to start with.
A white guy. Well, you know what? I actually decided to take a second here at the desk, and I made a little list of the names that came to my head of all the non-white guys that America was great for. Here's just a short list for you. LeBron James, Tiger Woods, Lil Wayne, Yao Ming, Denzel Washington, Beyonce, Oprah, Aziz Ansari, Mindy Kaling, Nori Jones, most likely you, and how about Barack Obama and his family?
So that would be also good, because they made some millions of dollars and they became successful within the supremacy program. That means that the supremacy program doesn't exist, you know? So, I mean, he just proved it right there.
There's just a short list of the non-white guys that America has been great for. So tell me about how America's only been great for white guys again. That's what I thought.
Can we all just agree that Black Lives Matter isn't the opposite
like
of
a
all lives
toddler.
matter? Black lives just matter. There's no need to overcomplicate it.
It actually seems like you are the one that is overcomplicated.
See, there it is. Like they get this fake fight out there, and then so like I said, like what they're saying is not necessarily not true, but how they're saying it makes it totally ridiculous. And when you're talking about actual truth expanded to the universe itself, it's fucking garbage. It's stupid. Both sides of this, because they're both designed. But like she said, like she's saying that Black Lives Matter, at its essence, it's talking about the attacking of the melanated people across the earth plane, specifically black lives in the United States. That is a result of the enslavement program, the legal enslavement program here. And he'll just defend it to say, oh, well, it doesn't exist. All lives matter. And he's going to give you, and I think I'll probably end it after that. He's going to give you this stupid ass excuse about, well, all lives matter is actually about the babies, the infants. And I'll just let you listen to that shit.
This because all lives matter actually includes Black Lives Matter. You are the one that wants to exclude
like,
Black Lives Matter from the All Lives Matter protest or saying whatever you want to say. But here's the thing about that: the All Lives Matter protest was to be more inclusive, but more it was for aborted babies out there who get aborted.
So he said all lives matter was to be more inclusive. Totally negating the entire essence of the actual essence of Black Lives Matter, out of the orchestration of it with George Soros and so forth. But the actual storyline of, hey, something needs to be said here that's happening. This is happening. This is a result of the supremacy program. It's a result of the colonial agenda and legal slavery and racism running rampant even today in Hollywood and politics and your public education and so on and so forth. There are side effects to that shit existing. So he says, oh, well, all lives matter includes that. So him saying that, it negates the entire reality. And then he's going to try to, add credibility to his statement by saying this shit about the babies. It was actually about
by the thousands of millions of Americans have been aborted, and it's a fact here that it's more dangerous for a black baby in the womb than it is walking around on the streets.
Okay.
So your protest for Black Lives Matter, thinking that the police are out to get black people, you don't even realize that the All Lives Matter protest is to protect the unborn babies. And you can talk about black babies.
Because you're protecting unborn black babies.
Dangerous in the womb than it is out on the streets. So you won't recognize that fact about the All Lives Matter protest. But again, the ultimate irony of this is that All Lives Matter includes Black Lives Matter. You are the one that is complicating it. Let's roll to the next one.
Also, Blue Lives Matter isn't a thing. Cops weren't born with blue skin, right? I mean, yeah, they weren't born blue.
Blue Lives Matter isn't a thing. Well, how is Black Lives Matter a thing?
He's a child.
People protest and then put signs on their car and yard? Okay, that's what's happened with Blue Lives Matter too. People have protested and put signs on their car and yard. So I guess it is a thing. But wait a second. Only hundreds of police officers die in the line of duty every year.
That's enough. The whole video is going to run like that by him saying, well, okay, and you're just stupid, and if that's not true, then we're actually on your side. And he's gonna run off. This is basically Alex Jones. This is what Alex Jones represents. They had to give the okay for this adolescent piece of shit in a tie to get on here and regurgitate this baby food to run this story. For people to like, what is the intention here is my point. What is the intention with them doing that? Out of all the other shit that they speak on, there's an intention here, and it's also revealing a perspective, and a perspective of where they're coming from and what they're saying and what they're not saying. So you'll see the next. Let me just skip and see what else he's gonna say.
Let's roll to the next one.
Feel free to take Kanye West, though. You guys can have him.
You know what you did,
See?
Kanye.
There it is.
Oh yeah, Kanye, you know what you did. You were trumping while black. You can't do that, Kanye. Didn't you see? The liberal media told you that Trump is racist.
The liberal media. See, this is the commercial revolution's villain, is the so-called liberal media and the so-called globalists. As if this commercial revolution is not a part of that expansion. They create these artificial superheroes and these artificial villains. So I just wanted to give a proof to this because you guys already know what's up with all this stuff. So that's one proof. And for people who are still like, because I keep making these videos in reference to this kind of stuff like this because there's a lot of people that still believe in the Alex Jones sort of stream of thought. And I'm not saying that everything that they're saying is not true. What I'm saying is that there's an intention there. The commercial revolution has an intention. And yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous that people still that intention is actually more important than the what they're saying. It's how and who's saying it. That's actually more important than what they're saying. So, like, this guy is the emotionally tethered sort of get you riled up like Alex Jones. Like I said, this guy speaking with InfoWars all over the place. He's basically Alex Jones. So just imagine Alex Jones saying this information with this tone and so on and so forth. There is 0 degrees of separation between Alex Jones, what he says and how he says what he says, and this guy, this fucking piece of shit, and how the story is being told. That's one way to get people locked into a particular level of consciousness to play out the reality. Another way to get people locked in is this Veritasium sort of this Veritasium. I'm not even gonna play it all the way through. I'm not gonna play it at all. This Veritasium mentality with like Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson and so on and so forth. This post-truth, why facts don't matter anymore. So now that they get you emotionally riled up in facing the globalists and all that other stuff, the defense mechanism for the system itself is also the victimization program. Like the people who, the so-called Jewish people who run Hollywood and the media always play those Hitler movies and always play the anti-Semitism card, the invention of that reality to play. That's the victimization program, is to defend themselves. That's an actual magic. It's a spell. It's a defense mechanism so that, like this guy saying, the last guy saying, if that's true, okay, well, it's the same thing. It's like making themselves out to be the victims. Like the name of that video was MTV against racist against white males. So that's the whole victim card. Is so you don't look at the story as a whole. You don't reference the story as a whole. And as long as you are caught up and distracted by the system as a whole, you will never challenge yourself to see the bigger pictures, because what's put in your face is just so vibrant and so believable, because a lot of the information there is based in some kind of truth, whether it's half truth or mistruth or whatever. But that's the point. If you just get bombarded by all of it, then you make your own truth within the belief system. And their actual intention is to create disbelief. So you get caught up in beliefs and disbeliefs. Meanwhile, you get completely separated from the knowingness, which is escaping that universe of distraction and piecing together all of the dots of that story, and how they create another vision, another perspective that is actually what the universe is all about. The trapping of that universe is all about. So another way they trap you in is this guy, Veritasium. He's one of them. He's actually teaming up with Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson in Bill Nye's new next year coming out with a Netflix show called Bill Nye Saves the World or something like that. He's one of the guys who teams up with them to go give you so-called truth and facts and so on and so forth. So I watched this whole video called Post-Truth. You can watch it yourself. But if you guys, I know you guys heard of Veritasium, what he comes up with, like stuff like, what is Fahrenheit? Is this what quantum mechanics looks like? Welding in space, galaxies from nothing. The best and worst prediction in science. Is most published research wrong? The illusion of truth. So on and so forth. This is to actually tell you what truth is, what information matters, simultaneously making them the victim, as if fake news exists, that's the villain. It's destroying the superhero that is scientism, truth, and the reality that has built this beautiful colonial universe that we exist in today. From your forefathers in the Constitution and Albert Einstein and Copernicus and Isaac Newton and the university system and the people who sent astronauts to the moon, and the people who are behind Elon Musk so we can go to Mars and put a colony on Mars, and this is all their mentality. That's what they consider truth. And the victimization program is the magic in that reality that separates you from understanding the depths of truth that go outside of the universe. So you can watch that video and see how he makes a victim out of himself and makes a victim out of the scientism community and political scene in the mainstream. He actually defends CNN in here. He actually pauses a little bit when he says that. He says, oh yeah, well, CNN, trying to reference what truth really is. He references CNN. So you can see where these individuals are coming from. He's teamed up with Bill Nye. Bill Nye is best buddies with Neil deGrasse Tyson and Obama and so forth. Just like that piece of shit guy on the last video is teamed up with Alex Jones, and Alex Jones is teamed up with Donald Trump. There are 0 degrees of separation between these stories, and how and who these people are who are telling you these stories to keep you in this bubble, this colonial bubble. And they do it from every kind of perspective. And when you listen to Veritasium, very intelligent individual, very comes from some very intellectual perspectives. But like I said in the beginning of this video, the entire infrastructure of this colonial universe is being shaken. And right now is where they have to draw the line and pull out their big guns and say, well, we are what is real. We are what is the truth. This is why he named this video Post-Truth, why facts don't matter anymore. So he's basically saying scientism, the religion that he worships, the universe that he worships, is what is factual, is what is true. And the availability of information that makes that universe unstable is actually fake and something that should be taken care of by algorithms of Facebook and algorithms of the internet and so on and so forth. If you want to see how that shit is put together, watch him. So just like people believe in Alex Jones and TYT and all that other stuff, ain't no different than Veritasium and all these other assholes out there who are defending the perspectives of Discovery Channel and National Geographic and the History Channel and so on and so forth. That's all a mind control program. And the new style of mind control program is to put it on the internet, to make it a fancy quick video, because people's attention spans are so small now. So they get these people out there these various YouTube channels pump up their numbers, pump down other people's numbers. And like I said in other videos, this is actually happening. I had a video and multiple videos actually lose views on my channel. So if they're taking views away, and I actually seen it with my own eyes. I went to sleep one night, it was a one group of views, hundreds of views, and the next morning it was less than 100 views. This is actually happening. So if they can do that, if that's actually happening, then you have to understand that they are also simultaneously bumping up these numbers to tell a particular storyline. And they're hiding videos, and they're doing all this other shit to keep people from realizing the actual infrastructure of the universe. I'm not saying that my channel is a so big thing and all that other stuff. I'm just saying that it's just part of what's happening, and I have proof just from my observation. My own eyes have seen this. And I know other people have said that too. Not only that, Facebook owns Instagram. Many times I have uploaded a video, and even last night and this morning I tried to upload 2 videos. One video was a clip from the last video that I did, or the second to last video that I did, that was talking about the colonial universe. And I tried to upload it, and it cut off the sound. It freezes everything. I said, okay, well, I stopped. Re-upload it 4 more times, same thing. Did it with another video. This time, the last video that has no sound, only pictures in a slideshow video. Same thing happens. It freezes. And this is not only the only time that this has happened. It's happened on other videos. Maybe about a month ago, 2 months ago, I tried to upload something, and it just stops it and freezes it. And I know this happens to other people all the time, but this is it's not a mistake. It's not a coincidence is my main point. These things are not a coincidence. And it's happening everywhere. This system is playing the numbers. It has to keep people in a particular vibration in order to keep control of the entire system. So that's basically what I wanted to share. I just wanted to give 2 real examples. Excuse me. I just wanted to give 2 obvious real examples of this so-called real and fake news agenda, and the how and the who of the information that is creating the infrastructure of this colonial universe, in reference to the movie itself, the Star Wars Marvel colonial movie that's being played itself, with your Trump and your Obama and your Bernie Sanders and so forth. That movie is the what program. That's the linear belief program. So now they're starting to play the linear belief program and the disbelief program. But all of it still exists outside of the knowingness that expands outside of the belief universe that they need you to believe in, to trap you in order to keep those paper slave chains on you and future generations. So that's basically it. Thank you for joining me. And until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.